we should do a tier list of the shows and movies, I think.
Yeah, let's do that.
Now, I think I want to change this. Here, we're going to do this. We're going to move E down, but did not watch. Maybe you did watch this, and maybe you'll have an opinion, but I did not watch this. Did you?
The Resistance, I did not watch that.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. So we'll leave that out, and we'll just go from S, A, B, C, D, and then F tier.
All right.
Should we do the movies first, chronological order? Like, what you thinking?
Let's do... Yeah, let's get the shows out of the way.
Shows out of the way. Okay.
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
How do you want to do it? Do you want to say what you would put it first?
Yeah. This is so hard comparing the TV shows to the movies.
I know.
I'd put it either A or B, I think. Probably A.
I agree. I'd put it with A, but the last season honestly could have bumped it down to B.
Yeah.
But the first 2 seasons, I'd probably put at A, just because.
We'll see how many we have A, and we can bump some down.
Yeah. Okay, I'm good with that.
Solo.
All right, technically that's not a show.
Oh yeah, we're doing shows. Sorry. Where's the next show? Rebels and Clone Wars.
Oh, that's only shows. Okay, I'm fine with that.
Let's do Clone Wars. I would put. What do I want to put?
It's so hard because the top of Clone Wars is S tier.
Yeah, for sure. But then you have like Jar Jar Binks episodes, which
like the first season or so, So I'd put at A. If we're just being like critical, I'd probably put at A.
Yeah, Rebels for me is like high B, maybe low A. Like
because gosh, dude, like that second
season, is A.
I would also put at A, but like a low A.
We're gonna put everything in A.
All right. Okay. I think the movies will be a little easier to kind of rate.
Okay, let's start off with episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1. Oh, okay. This is gonna be tricky.
It's not a great movie. I like it because of nostalgia, but honestly, it's probably like maybe C is where I'd probably put it.
I agree. I think it has redeeming qualities. I think the final, lightsaber fight with Maul, good villain. I think it's
redeeming quality for sure.
Interesting seeing Anakin young. People bash on young Anakin, but I thought that was fine. Pod racing scene was freaking awesome.
Yep.
So I think it had redeeming. So I would say C.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. Episode 2, D or F.
I'll put it at D.
Yeah, I would put it at D. It's not good. There's some.
It's the weakest out of the prequels.
Yeah, for sure. There's not much redeeming, honestly. I love it because it's so bad, and I just love it's one of the reasons I love it is because of how many Jedi you get to see for like the first time in that.
Yeah, but that's also the reason I don't like it, because they don't explore it enough.
Yeah, true. That's why the Clone Wars is so good.
War aspects.
Yeah.
That movie's so frustrating because you're right. It's the first time, that scene in that arena, after they're fighting the big monsters, like you kind of see it for a second, and then you see a little bit of the war, and then that's it.
Yep.
And then the Clone War expands on that and makes it amazing. Show.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I would put it there. I agree.
3. I think I would put it.
I would put it at B, but honestly, 3. If I'm not being critical, is one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
Yeah, it definitely has way more redeeming qualities than 1 or 2.
And that even just the opening scene.
Yeah,
I was like,
there's some cool scenes, and the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin.
And just the connectivity between the original and the. You knew what was kind of going to happen, and kind of seeing it finally connect.
Yeah.
You were like my brother. It had that emotional aspect.
That was such a good moment.
So I would put, if I'm being critical, I would definitely put it at B. I agree.
Yeah, it could maybe. I don't think it's better than It's definitely not better than Clone Wars or Mandalorians.
No.
Rebels,
I honestly,
I still think I would put higher.
I don't know if I'd put it higher than Rebels, just for the fact that Rebels. The thing with Rebels is people don't like it as much as Clone Wars, but when it's high, like Rebels is top freaking notch. Like the highs are high.
Yeah, it has some amazing parts. For
Yeah,
sure. There's also some stinker episodes, but Clone Wars had that too.
But what I liked about Rebels, though, is it kind of mimicked the original. Like it felt like the original trilogy, like an adventure, like a kid finding his way, and he's part of a team. I liked the team aspect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would put it. I don't know though, because then that is a hard one actually. Because then like to 3, and it's like big stakes. It's like it's even. I mean, it connects such.
The reason I think it's in B is because Anakin's so much better in the Clone Wars. Like the character of Anakin is like completely saved by the Clone Wars, and in 3 he just, I don't know.
I think it's not a coincidence. Both the series that have Ahsoka feel like more than because
true.
As much like a lot of people, like my dad, he grew up watching the original trilogy and he watched the prequels, but he didn't watch cartoons. So like a lot of people don't realize how important, whether they retconned it or didn't, how important Ahsoka was like for Anakin.
Yep.
And you're right. Those two shows are above it because they make that movie better.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Okay, let's do Solo, then Rogue One, then go into the original trilogy.
We might differ on.
I would put Solo somewhere in. I think I would put it in B, honestly.
You know what? I agree. I thought you were going to bag on it, but I
liked Solo.
I enjoyed it. I think Solo was a victim of releasing at the wrong time and being under Disney. I actually think it was a great movie.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I loved them bringing Maul into it and having him be like the syndicate guy. No, I feel like that could have been way more explored if that movie did good. I don't know if they're still planning on doing another Solo or not, but like
I think they are doing, or no, they're doing a Lando show.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree. I think that was actually underrated, and I think it just fell victim of people being sick of Disney Star Wars.
I liked Solo.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I would have put it exactly at B2.
Now, Rogue One.
Oh, that one's hard.
It's definitely better than Solo.
There. Yeah, better than Solo, but I cannot put it above. I don't know if that's nostalgia talking or.
Yeah. I would agree. I don't think I could put it above 3 just because, like.
Although you could argue, out of any other Star Wars, that felt like the most original to the original trilogy.
Yeah.
It felt authentic. Like when I was watching
Vader's cooler in this one. Like that scene with Darth Vader in Rogue One is so cool.
Oh, it's so amazing. But to get what I'm saying, like when I watched Rogue One, it felt like a literal prequel. Like it felt like that could, like if we were in the 70s, like that movie could have been a part of that original trilogy.
Yeah, I agree.
But that being said, maybe it's our nostalgia getting in our way. But I think most people agree with us.
I think Rogue One's a better made and written movie.
Yeah.
But like there's something about 3 with the fall of Anakin and the fight at the end. Like it holds a special place in my heart.
Epic, right? It's like that's what stories are made of. The fall of the fall of a hero and the beginning of something else. Yeah, you just can't. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Should we save the original trilogy for last or just do it now?
Yeah, we could do original trilogy for last.
Okay, episode 7. Okay.
This is going to be interesting where you put these. Because
I think episode 7 could have been C if the ones after it were better and actually followed some of the stuff that J.J. Abrams set up. But because it didn't, I would put it probably D.
You would put it at D? Okay. Yeah. So I think this is where we're going to differ. I would put it, I get what you're saying, but I would put it at C. And if it would have followed up, I would have put it at B. Yeah, I actually think this was a great way to...
I actually think I agree with you. I think the next two are just, they so sour my perspective on it. But yeah, go ahead.
I just remember walking out of Force Awakens. I'm like, yes, this is what they needed to do. They kind of gave a little bit to the old fans like us, and then but they also kind of soft rebooted it. Where it was similar to New Hope, but they had to reintroduce Star Wars. At this point, we got to remember it's been years since.
Yeah, for sure. I do remember walking out of that movie after the 7 and being like, that was pretty good. I like that.
I was like, this is awesome. Like the special effects, like, oh my God, it's been so long since I was a kid. I've seen Star Wars. But like you said,
I agree. It could have been higher to be maybe if it set up like a really good trilogy with like a lot of good hooks that they followed through with.
Yeah. But yeah, so I know a lot of people hate on new trilogy, and even I do, but I actually think Force Awakens was a decent movie. The reason we just clump it with the other two.
Yeah.
But yeah, these next two, yeah. I'll even be fair, and I'll put The Rise of Skywalker at D.
Maybe, yeah.
But that's even pushed. But for sure, I mean, let's just say this.
I hated Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi was literally meant to bash on Star Wars fans. I don't care what anyone says. The director, what's his name? Rian Johnson. He tried to subvert expectations. Like, okay, man, shut up, dude. Like, it's a Star Wars, okay? He purposely, like, I'm better than you guys. I can make a better. So shut up and make a Star Wars movie. I hate The Last Jedi, and I know a lot of people who aren't huge Star Wars fans love The Last Jedi.
I did not like it.
Have you seen that though? Like, a lot of people will defend that movie.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, maybe it's just my Star Wars glasses, but like, I don't even think on its own it would have been a good movie. They're just running away the whole time. Nothing's really happening. Like,
it was a space chase.
Yeah,
like that's for 2 hours. Nothing happened.
Then they're like looking for that one guy who could like hack that thing, and then they never even find him, and then it's just another random guy in the cell is like, oh yeah, I can do that. Like, okay, why?
Yeah, so what was the whole point of that story? Yes. Oh my God, that whole movie was so pointless. They could have done something so cool, like Rey could have
killed everyone off too. Like, there's so many people died.
You kill your big bad Snoke. He was supposed to be your big bad. Like, Kylo, it's time to train. Right at the end of The Force Awakens. Oh, we need to strengthen your training. Yada yada yada. And you kill Snoke. And then, like, fine, you make Rey a nobody, which I was actually okay with. But
then they didn't even follow through with that.
They could have turned. What would have been amazing is if they would have turned Rey to the dark side and Kylo would have switched. Like, if they would have kind of swapped it. Brilliant! It would have been amazing. Don't even get started with Luke. Don't get me started with that. The end fight was okay, but why did he even have to die? This movie. And don't even get me started. As much as it looked cool, the space jump into another thing. They specifically say in the original trilogy, you cannot like it. What do you call it? Hyperspeed. It maps. The whole point of it, I just watched the video on this. It maps out where you can go, so you purposely avoid things.
Yeah, it did look cool, but that like breaks. You could just like put a hyperspace drive on a tiny little ship and just ram it into anything, and you have a giant missile nuke.
And why does what's her face have to sacrifice herself? Put on autopilot. Oh my! Okay.
I don't know.
We can go on.
I think my biggest problem with the sequels, they needed someone to oversee all three movies and give a general direction. They needed a Kevin Feige from Marvel.
Yes.
Like, or just one director for the whole thing. And like a consistent writing group. It just seemed like they set up ideas in 7. 8 just totally threw them away. 8 set up ideas. 9 just brought in the Emperor and didn't have any cohesiveness.
9 was like, okay, you know what? Screw this. We're just going to try to give as much to the fans as possible to a fault.
Yeah.
Like, it was almost like overcorrecting.
Yeah,
and that's kind of why I would put that's why I put what's that one even called? The Rise of Skywalker. That's why I put it at D, because I don't even think it was trying to like. Whereas The Last Jedi, I felt like it was mocking Star Wars fans.
This was where it all fell apart.
Yes, at least Rise of Skywalker. Can't really do
much with this after this.
No. It wasn't like mocking us. I feel like it was trying to just gift us with something. Like, oh, you know what? Just here's the Emperor. Even though it was stupid, at least it wasn't mocking us.
Yeah.
So that's why I would rank that at D above it. But still,
I would agree with that. I think it's slightly better, still not great.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
All right, episode 4. I'm interested to see if we have different opinions on this, but I would put it S, definitely.
You got to put it at S, man. It's what started it all. It's a classic, hero coming from nowhere. You have to put it at S. I agree.
Empire Strikes Back. Also,
you have to put it at S too.
I would put it above, just because I think it's the better movie.
Iconic movies of all time.
Yeah, and we just went through that quiz, and there's so many quotes from that movie that have stuck for 50 years, almost.
My wife, she knows lines from that movie. She knows who Darth Vader is and Anakin, and I am your father, and all. She knows all of that, and and she's not even a Star Wars fan.
Yep.
So I agree.
I'm curious where you'd put 6. I would put it, I think, in A somewhere.
I agree. I think it's the weakest one, and I would actually say I enjoyed Clone Wars more and Rebels more, but I'd probably put it above Mandalorian, which doesn't make sense because Rebels above that. But I
think that's a good place for it. I'm fine with it anywhere in A. Like, it's a good movie. The Ewoks are kind of silly, and but like. It's still obviously a good end to the trilogy. Yeah,
that's kind of the era we grew up with. But not even taking off the nostalgic glasses, Clone Wars made the prequel trilogy better.
Yeah, 100%.
And I flip back and forth. I don't know if I would definitely. Yeah, I would put it above Mandalorian and Rebels probably.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of flipping back and forth between putting Mandalorian above Rebels.
Yeah. Let's see. So I think I would put. I feel like the Mandalorian builds a lot off of Rebels and Clone Wars. They kind of set up the whole Mandalorian system. I don't know if that would really change. I don't know. Rebels or Mandalorian?
But then I'm thinking...
If it was just season 1 and 2, it would definitely be better.
So you think season 3 is what's kind of bringing it a little lower? Even though we enjoyed season 3.
Yeah, I don't know. Because, Rebels season 1 isn't my favorite either. So I don't know. I could flip them either way.
I think
Mandalorian's a better made show.
It's hard because the way I see it is the Mandalorian, it kind of gave me, that's the first time in the Disney era, besides Clone Wars, the final season, where it gave me that Star Wars feeling oh my God, it felt maybe like a child.
Yeah.
Like even season 1, just hearing the theme and seeing Grogu and week to week, and maybe it was the pandemic that had a reason for that, because especially season 2, we're all stuck at home and watching it together. There's nothing else to do. But I mean, that season 2, right, with Ahsoka, that episode of Ahsoka, the episode obviously spoilers with Luke and even the odds.
I would put Mandalorian. Yeah, that scene with Luke alone.
That's what
would put it over, was what, I think.
40 years in the making. That's what people like my dad wanted to see. I grew up with the original trilogy, not the Luke from the sequels, but that Luke that showed up from Mandalorian. So you're right. Just for the fact that it finally gave us the epic Luke Skywalker, you would have to put that. I love Rebels.
I love Rebels too. Hey, it's still an A. It's still good.
It's still an A. Yeah. This is just debating what A is better.
Yeah.
As much as I will say, though, I still stand by Ahsoka and the Vader fight and that line, "I am no Jedi," the best freaking tier. God, I love that. Sure. Oh,
I think this is a pretty good tier list.
Yeah, I think honestly, I don't know. Like if we have people watching, tell us in the comments. But I feel like this would be a very similar list a lot of actual Star Wars fans would have.
Yeah.
Right. I think some people put Revenge of the Sith a little higher.
Yeah, there's definitely some prequel like super fans that's their stuff that they love, which
yeah,
I mean that's fine. Like what you like. It's not. Mm-hmm. I love watching the prequels, but I know they're not the best movies.
Yeah, we know they're not written the best, of course. But as far as in defense of the prequels, is at least they're original. And at least they brought some. I mean, we still talk about the Clone Wars era more than any other era.
Yeah, I love that era.
It brought so much lore into the mainstream Star Wars fans.